good. I will formally introduce myself. Hello, everyone. I am Mary McCarley, and I'm the Health Education Content Specialist with Goodheart-Willcox. I'm the co-author of the Middle School Health Program, and I taught health for 15 years in Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools, and I am absolutely thrilled to present to you today our 2025 copyright skills-based middle and high school health education program. We are Goodheart-Willcox. We've actually been around over 100 years, and for most of those 100 years, we were well known as the premier CTE publishing company. Then in 2015, we started creating our health education resources in response to the need for a quality, up-to-date, skills-based resource that was developed by experts in health education and Shape America award-winning Teachers of the Year. You can see from how often we do our updates that it's definitely a title that we are very passionate about. And we have quickly become the most widely used health resource across the United States. Now, much of our success is due to this award-winning author team. So Catherine Sanderson and Mark Zellman, they wrote the middle and the high school health textbook, the paragraphs of the text. Having that same author team really allows them to build on concepts and skills over time as students move from middle school into their high school years. Now, myself and Lindsay, we developed the middle school pedagogy, and the three teachers on the bottom developed the high school pedagogy. We're responsible for all the skills-based activities and assessments, performance tasks, your lesson plans, your rubrics, and a whole lot more. It truly is a program developed by teachers for teachers. It does fully align to the new National Health Education Standards, the National Sex Education Standards, and the HECAT. We also do have correlations to state standards as well. So at the end of this presentation, we're going to connect you with your rep. And if you would like to see the correlation to your state standards, we're happy to provide that. Now, we do have full integration with Canvas and Schoology and several other learning management systems. So our digital solutions expert would work with your LMS admin to load the resources into the course. Now, within each lesson folder or module, teachers will have everything they need, including the digital textbook in English and Spanish, videos, animations, or interactive tools. And then those last two items that say student activities, those are in both English and Spanish, and those are your options for handouts that you can assign as either a Word or a Google Doc. Every lesson has an auto-graded quiz. Every module has an auto-graded exam. So it is fully customizable at the lesson level, allowing you to unpublish a lesson folder and students would not have access to anything in it. Now, I know a lot of districts also use Google Classroom. We do provide the SSO with Clever and ClassLink, and it's easy to use with Google Classroom. So teachers, you can post from our platform into Google Classroom, and you'll assign as a Google Doc. So if I clicked on Read Lesson 5.1 and the link, it would take me to the page of the book my teacher wanted me to start reading on, or a video or an animation or an interactive tool. So we have different versions of our program. The comprehensive version has everything in the main text, including sexual health. We also have an essential version. Think of the main text as housing about 75% of health content. And with the main text, we would like for districts to choose one of two options for a companion text. Option number one has these important health topics like human development, relationships, abstinence, dating, violence prevention, STIs, but it does not have information on sexual health. While this second version of the companion text does have information on sexual health. Everything is in print and digital. Again, fully integrated learning management systems or easy to use with Google Classroom. Now, the same is going to be for the high school version as well, with the option of option one for companion text or the second one that has the sexual health. Now, our digital program is available in English and Spanish, it all matches page for page. The entire program meets accessibility guidelines. What that often means for a lot of teachers is if you do have a student who struggles to read, the program can be read aloud using their built-in screen reader. We also partner with Bookshare. Bookshare is free for all school districts, and it is specifically for students who have reading barriers. So maybe those students in your class who have an IEP, they can access our digital textbooks through Bookshare and get additional accommodations like follow along karaoke style while the word is highlighting and read to them, or even read in Braille. Our textbook appeals to the visual learner. There's brightly colored images and infographics throughout, and we really wanted students to see their faces in the pages of our text. You're going to see students of different races, religions, of all shapes and sizes, students who have acne, students with disabilities, students who are a bit disheveled, because that is ultimately what our students look like. In our textbook, there is a strong focus on the practice of skills. So embedded throughout the pages, we have opportunities for students to practice those valuable health skills. And you can see that we always clearly identify the skill being practiced. Here's just two more examples, really allowing students to make connections and more real-world application. And middle school, at the end of the lesson, you have another opportunity to practice those health skills with the Develop Your Skills feature on the right-hand side. And in high school as well with the Health and Wellness Skills feature. So let's take a quick look inside. Whenever I make a presentation, I like to chunk it so that you're getting an overview of the resources, but you're also seeing how to navigate the online platform. So this is a platform that is specifically for a review committee. It is not integrated within the LMS, but it is also the online platform that would be used if your district is using Google Classroom. So again, you can see the comprehensive version. If I scroll down, you'll also see the essential version with the options of the companion text. So I'll begin by clicking on the high school program. You'll see the different modules. I'll click on module 2. And on the left-hand side, since I just gave you an overview of the textbook, we'll click on, how about lesson 2.6? You can see the English and the Spanish. So how I navigate the middle school and the high school program will really be the same. The home button takes me back to the main landing page. I can zoom in and see this page closer. I can zoom back out, and I can search by a key term within this lesson or a page number. At the top of both middle and high, you'll see our essential question, learning outcome statements, key terms, a reading and note-taking activity. Every lesson in high school begins with a warm-up, and you can see we have clearly identified the skill being practiced. Middle school begins with an introduction. Both middle and high school is divided by sections because we know students are not going to read all of lesson 2.6 in one sitting. You'll see those embedded features throughout the program, and this time we're analyzing influences. Now, in middle school, at the end of each section, you'll actually see our reading checkpoint questions so that you can debrief with your class before going on to the next section. A lot of teachers ask me about our reading level. High school, you're at an 8.8. Middle school, you're at a 6.4 on the Flesch-Kincaid. Here's another one of those built-in features, a case study, and we're setting goals. Notice I'm scrolling down. By scrolling down, we do meet accessibility guidelines, allowing the text to be read aloud using a built-in screen reader. It's also easy to use with Google Translate if you do need it in another language. Here is another skills-based feature, and we're practicing Standard 7. Let's make our way to the end of the lesson. And at the end of the lesson, you will see a summary High school has comprehend concept questions. Remember, middle school, yours were embedded throughout the pages. Both middle and high school has critical thinking, and both middle and high school has an opportunity to practice skills at the end of the lesson. So teachers, you can click the tab to the left to always go back to the main landing page. But since I was navigating high school, I'll switch to middle school as we're going through our next resource. And the next resource we have are going to be our student resources. So in addition to the textbook, we also have videos and animations. High school, all of your videos and animations were updated with our 2025 copyright. Middle school, yours were revised with our 23 copyright. We also have opportunities to practice vocabulary with our interactive tools. We offer a workbook. Our workbook is in print and digital. Think of the workbook as an opportunity to extend learning, practice skills, put students in real life situations and scenarios, ask them questions like, what do you do? What do you say? Make a decision, set a goal, analyze and influence. So these are going to be very much scenario based on real life application. The student doesn't have to read all of lesson 1.3 to do these types of assessments. They are in English and Spanish. They are in docx format, which downloads as a Word document, but has already been formatted to upload as a Google Doc. So teachers, whether you're using Canvas, Schoology, or Google Classroom, you'll be able to assign as a Word or Google Doc. We also just offer additional handouts. Middle school, you have those reading checkpoint questions embedded throughout, and you'll have a digital copy of that. High school, you didn't have the reading checkpoint questions embedded throughout the text, but we still created a reading guide to ask thought-provoking and text-dependent questions. Middle school, anything in the pages of the text, if it works well as a digital copy, we made it a digital copy. High school, to increase rigor in skill development, we offered some additional activities, including our case study assessments and skill development activities. In both middle and high school, there are lesson review questions. High school, that is a direct copy right from the textbook. Middle school, you didn't have them at the end of the textbook, but we still created it as a digital copy. Let's take a look inside. So I'll go back to the online platform. Now, teachers, notice that you can toggle between student-facing resources and teacher-facing resources. I'll click student. And the first thing you'll notice for each lesson is that you're going to have handouts available. Now, we know you're not going to use all of them. The idea is that you would pick and choose which ones best met the needs of your students. I'll click on this reading guide. The reading guide is available for both middle and high. Just click on it from your downloads to open it up. Now, teachers, if you're on a Mac and you don't have Word on your device, not to worry at all, because in just a moment, I'm going to actually show you how you can bypass the download process and just bring the documents into your Drive, and they'll appear as a Google Doc. I can click Enable Editing, make any changes I would like. I could print this, or I could assign it as either a Word or a Google Doc. Now, in middle school, some of the activities worked well as a digital copy. So just below the reading guide, once in a while, you'll see an activity like this that's sandwiched between. That case study was right in the pages of the text. So it is always between the reading guide and the workbook pages. We also offer workbook pages. You can see that there's 4 different ones to choose from for this lesson. Our workbook pages, again, are going to put students in real life situations and scenarios. High school, just under the workbook pages, you'll often see skill development activities. I personally love these handouts. Another opportunity to engage students in the practice of skills. Middle school, you have a vocab activity, and both middle and high school, you do have those text-dependent questions. All of these are in English and Spanish. And if you don't want to download the individual files, we offer our zip file in English and Spanish. So by clicking on it, it will go to your downloads. Just open it up and you will see all of module 4 once this populates. So within this folder, you would actually see the individual lesson folders. And if I open up 4.1, those are all the handouts that I just showed you. So teachers, and I could show you this during a training or even a presentation for your committee, you'll be able to take this folder, bring it into your Google Drive, and they'll automatically convert to Google Docs. But again, happy to show you that during a presentation, how to do that, or a training. So in addition to our handouts that you can choose from, we also have videos and animations. Some of our videos and animations do have a guided worksheet to go with them, and you can view the transcript. There are also, every lesson has English flashcards. It does say it out loud. If you click it, you can flip it. The student, if they already know this one, can remove it from the deck and click next to go to the next one. The student can change it to see the definition first, turn their audio off, shuffle the deck, reset the card stack if they deleted any, and click apply. These are really just intended for self-assessment and practice. Those are available in English and Spanish and full Spanish. Again, everything I'm showing you is available for both middle and high. Every lesson has a matching activity. This is really intended for students to just practice. If I had gotten one right, a 1 would be green, the rest would be red, and it would prompt me to keep trying. Every lesson has a vocabulary game. It is set up similar to Jeopardy! Whether you get it right or wrong, it does tell you the correct answer. Every lesson has a spelling challenge. Play the term, try to spell it correctly. Every lesson has a glossary and an audio summary. So again, teachers, you'll be able to pick and choose which of these resources you want to use with students. If I scroll to another lesson, you'll find that the format is exactly the same. Let's switch to instructor. So on this review platform, you can actually toggle between the two, and we'll take a look at the teacher-facing resources next. But first, I'm going to go back to my PowerPoint for just a moment. In addition to our student resources, we also have extensive teacher resources. Again, teachers, think of this like a menu. We know you're not going to use everything, but just pick and choose what best meets your students' needs. We offer a teacher's edition in print and digital. Besides answer keys and the correlation to the National Health Ed Standards, in middle school teacher's edition, we have leveled the skills-based assessments, level 1, 2, and 3. 3 is most rigorous, 1 is easiest, and we provided options for differentiation. We know that health is always changing, and we want to make sure that you guys are always staying up to date. So 2 to 4 times per school year, we're going to post brand new lessons to our platform. This one was posted earlier in the year on oral nicotine pouches. We know that just last month, the inverted food guide has come out. Our team is already working on the lesson update. For the teacher and the student, it's going to look like an extra lesson of the textbook with lesson review questions and a skills-based assessment. We provide these as a Word document, so you can pick and choose when to post those for students. The only topic we don't post on is sexual health, only because we know that's a topic that often needs board approval. We offer several versions of the course planning guide. I also work with districts to create a customized course planning guide. Every lesson has its own lesson plan. You'll see learning outcome statements, the correlation, key terms, materials needed. Every lesson has a bell ringer, introduction to lesson activities, classroom activities, independent practice, and closure. In middle school, if you like that leveling 1, 2, 3, I also leveled the workbook pages that were skills-based. Every lesson from middle and high has its PowerPoint, all of which have been formatted to upload as slides and PowerPoint guided notes. If you like the reading guide that I shared earlier, this happens to be a high school example. In the teacher resources, we offer a differentiated version of that, an easier version to help guide the struggling reader. We also have teacher-directed activities so that you can engage your students in full class activity and discussion. And parent engagement homework assignments. These are short homework assignments to engage families and extend learning home. Those are going to be in about 50% of the lessons. And even at that, we know you're not going to use all of them. You just would want to pick and choose which ones best met the needs of your students. At the end of a module, teachers, you may decide to do a skills-based summative performance task. We often have 4 to choose from, and rubrics are available, or a traditional test or lesson quiz. Every lesson has a quiz. Every module has an exam. The module exams are easy, intermediate, and difficult. If your district integrates with a learning management system, we have already built these lesson quizzes and module exams into Schoology or Canvas. Now, we still provide the questions in DocX format in case you wanted to do a review game the day before, but they do auto-grade within your LMS. And lastly, if you ever do have a parent or guardian who opts their child out of a lesson, we have created the alternative activities. All right, teachers, let's take a look inside. So if you're looking at our teacher resources, just make sure that instructor is clicked. And once instructor is clicked, you'll be able to scroll down and see the different options. Every lesson has a lesson plan. You'll see scope and sequence, the pre-quiz, and the post-quiz. Again, if your district's integrating with a learning management system, that is what will be auto-graded within Canvas or Schoology. There's an easier version of the reading guide. Every lesson has a PowerPoint presentation. Again, all of our PowerPoints have already been formatted to upload as slides, and you'll be able to edit them as needed. Again, I think they're a really good combination of content slides. And then we also have like think about it or critical thinking questions, and then opportunities for skills slides as well. And if you like the PowerPoint guided notes for students, we have those as well. Depending on the lesson you're looking at, some lessons will have a teacher-directed activity or a parent engagement homework assignment. If I scroll to another lesson, you'll find that the format is exactly the same. And for the teacher that does not want to download everything, we have our instructor's zip, which would include all of these documents with the PowerPoint presentation. Also included in the instructor's zip file, we have our assessments and answer key section. I'll click on that. So teachers, once you're done with module 4, this is your review day lesson plan. We have a letter for families that highlights the lessons included, all of your answer keys divided by lesson. Middle and high school will have some different activities on review day, but both middle and high school has performance tasks. For the teacher that prefers the more skills-based summative, this is where you're going to find it. Whether you want your students to practice asking for help or developing a wellness action plan, or advocating, or maybe even researching. You can pick and choose which of those performance tasks best meets the needs of your students, but the format is the same for all of them. And that the first page is the directions for the teacher, the task for the student, and the last page is always a rubric for grading. But if you prefer a traditional test, easy, intermediate, and difficult, this is the Word version. So again, if you're integrating with Schoology or Canvas, yours will already be built for you and it does auto grade. So teachers, thus far, I have been navigating what's available at the module level. Don't forget to check out our Teachers Edition as well. How you navigate one module would be the same as how you navigate the other modules. Lastly, I just wanted to click on course planning. Teachers, this is where you'll find those 2 to 4 brand new lessons that we post every school year. You'll also find instructor guides. A lot of this is best practices. We've got course planning guides, correlations, additional rubrics and templates. And for the student whose parent guardian has opted them out of a particular activity, we offer our opt-out resources. So I'll click the home button to go back to the main landing page. I know I was navigating our comprehensive version, but how you navigate the comprehensive version would be the same as the essential version with the option of a companion text. So to bring this presentation to a close, our resources have been absolutely loved across the United States. They have quickly become the most widely used health resource across the United States. They're developed by experts in health education and shape Teachers of the Year. They are aligned to the national health ed standards, the national sex education standards, and often state standards as well. This is our 2025 copyright, but we still provide ongoing lesson updates. We do provide the SSO with Clever, ClassLink, and it's easy to use with Google Classroom. We also have seamless integration with Canvas and Schoology and other learning management systems. Teachers love our extensive Spanish resources, including our digital textbook, our workbook pages, handouts, and more. We also provide all of our handouts in that DocX format, so teachers, you can modify as needed, print, assign it as a Word or Google Doc. We know that we provide a lot of options. This is so that you can meet the unique needs of your students. And last but not least, we are absolutely committed to the training, professional development, and ongoing support of teachers throughout the life of their contract. So if you're viewing this, we will send you a follow-up email. You'll be able to connect with your educational consultant or your state rep if you would like print copies of our textbook for your review and online access. But I do truly appreciate your time. I was thrilled to present our 2025 copyright with you. So thanks so much for your time, and I hope you have a wonderful day.